Uh, is it live? Says it should be. There we go. Hello. So, I've been busy. But I decided I wouldn't be progressing the main story until I was feeling ready to... Well, busy grinding in this game.
Too late to repent.
I figured I wouldn't progress the main story until I was feeling ready to stream again.
Past victories don't guarantee future runs.
But, well, here we go. Well, there's an equilibrium system in this game, so it increases the level of enemies as your own level increases. But you're able to tune that in case things get too difficult.
Whoa, what are you doing here? I gave him the lowdown. Hey, remember what I said, okay? We're gonna vote against it. I'm not gonna take orders from that woman.
And because apparently I forgot to archive the stream of when I was finishing Eurilo 6. Long story short, if your world level goes up, then the drops that you get from enemies also goes up. So you get better rewards from finishing battles. But then, to summarize what I ended up forgetting to archive, basically Kafka, who is the person that summoned the Trailblazer, her to inherit the Stellaron aboard the Herta space station initially, showed up and asked us to go to a place called the Shansho Lufo. I probably butchered that.
Seems like the longer I spend in my room...
Same spelling, completely different character. Yeah, if you want to know what they look like, just look up Kafka Star Rail.
March told me. If it were one of the other ships, it might have been okay.
That's another thing I need to play, Final Fantasy.
I'm forbidden from setting foot on that ship. Total interception of any attempt to enter the Dominion is how they chose to put it.
I played the prologue of 13, but then I got stuck. Granted, I was like 10 at the time, I think. I don't know, I need to double check when Final Fantasy 13 came out. December 17th, 2009, so... Potentially, I could have been as young as 7, but I doubt I was that young. I remember us having it before the launch of the PlayStation 4. I mean, if the story's good, I tend to get invested in it, even if the gameplay feels lackluster. That goes for any game. Why do you think I've still been playing Fate Grand Order after 3 whole years? Yes, Astolfo is in Fate Grand Order, but he is also in Fate Extella, as far as games go. I think he's originally appeared in the Fates Apocrypha light novel back in 2014. Hold on, specifically he was in Extella Link. Let me check when this released. Why do you need to know my location? And for this. And Volume 2 of the novel was 2013, so yeah, that would have been Astolfo's first appearance. He might be available from the 4-star pick tickets that get sent out occasionally. I know he's a permanent unit. So you could get him at any time, quite literally. There's also that one Astolfo Bean plushie that gets memes to hell. Yes, Astolfo is a playable character in Fate Grand Order, but it is a gacha game, so you're not guaranteed to get him. Admittedly, his kit isn't that strong in-game. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't exactly call it powerful. The other game he appears in, Fate Extella Link, is not a gacha game, though, and you are able to get him guaranteed there. Because we have literal gods in that game, and also, for instance, Heracles exists. He wasn't that strong in the anime either. He's always been more of a comic relief than anything. That's not to say he doesn't have his moments.
So if you're planning on going, I can't go with you. I remember the Xianzhou was a sight to behold. Good luck.
Actually, in the original source material, which is the Mad Hatter of France, he was described as being a handsome man and not a femboy. He was a comic relief in that story.
Are you okay, Don Hung?
Like, handsome to the point where that was the entire point he got recruited into the Paladins of Charlemagne in the first place. Imagine becoming part of basically the French Round Table off of looks alone. Well, he's an English prince, but he is part of the French Round Table. But also, I think England was controlled by France during that time frame.
I'm fine. And yes, I'm up to speed.
If you think Astolfo having pink hair is weird, you should see some of the other character designs in Fate.
Good. In that case, with regard to the matter at hand, let's vote to decide our next move. Our Stellaron hunter claims that a Stellaron burst has occurred on the Xianzhou Luofu, and that we're in the vicinity. If we head for the Luofu, I we may have the chance to save many innocent lives. However, it's also possible that our Stellaron hunter is lying and using us for her own ends. Neither Welt nor I believe that she's telling us the truth. But we can't just ignore the intel she's given us. So, we're about to hold a democratic vote on whether to set a course for the Xianzhou. All those in favor, hold out your hand. All those against, keep your arms by your side. 3, 2, 1. Four against 1. Well, it looks like the Astral Express crew has a majority vote to head for the Xianzhou.
I mean, it sounds like he would literally get arrested and executed on sight if he went there, so he's probably gonna have to stay on the Express.
I calmed down and thought about it a bit. If it turns out that woman isn't lying, then a lot of innocent people are gonna get hurt. Now's the time for thinking about other people.
All right, all right. I think we're all used to March's modus operandi by now.
I mean, worst case scenario, we find out Kafka was lying and then we just GTFO.
So, Don Hong, you want to stay here?
Yes. I'm staying this time.
In that case, Welt, ready for a trailblazing expedition? I know you've been itching to get out there for a while now, but make sure you take good care of the two of them.
I'm actually not yet to a point where I know very much about Kafka, but I wouldn't be shocked if she was evil.
Don't worry.
They seem to express, well, Kafka and her partner for that, her Silverwolf, seem to express a complete disregard for the lives of the people on the space station, so, again, I wouldn't be surprised if they were evil.
Destination Xianzhou, here we come!
Hold on. It's a novella by Franz Kafka. Okay. Interesting concept.
The train is about to make the jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I wish there was a way to set up Twitch to automatically highlight a stream so that it didn't get deleted after it ended. That would be really nice.
Whoa! So that's a Xianzhou ship? It looks even bigger than your Relo 6!
For the Xianzhou, these ships are their planets. Terrestrial environments are cradles that allow civilizations to survive and develop. Some of those civilizations progress further, constructing spacefaring vessels, which allow them to voyage into the unknown. The Xianzhou Alliance is one such civilization.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I never noticed until now that he had red eyeliner.
I've only glimpsed it a few times, but it's as magnificent as I remember.
You okay there? What's with all the lonely nostalgia vibes?
This is the Astral Express. I repeat, this is the Astral Express. We have arrived in Xianzhou territory. Requesting landing permission from ground control. From the bridge, I mean.
To be fair, I've never seen his face that close before. And it looks like it's only on one side. And it is partially obstructed by his hair.
Welcome, Luofu Skyport. First then. Please
Yeah, I know. I'd have to zoom in on his face next time I get the chance.
Something's not right.
The signal is still repeating, but no one is guiding us into dock.
Maybe the Stellaron hunters were telling the truth. It seems like something really did happen to the Xianzhou.
So I can see it on that side, I can't see it on this side.
A vessel arrives at a deserted spaceport. Isn't that how, like, loads of horror movies start?
I guess in this era it would be. Whereas in our current decade, all I can think of is a game called Dead Space that starts kind of like that. At least I think it does. I haven't played Dead Space. Yeah, I would think so. This is set, like, eons into the future, if not millennia.
Let's not let our imaginations get the better of us.
Please wait transferred. Please wait transferred. Please wait transferred.
I mean, maybe none of the movies from our time survive, but they're probably still making movies.
Still the automated signal?
Screw it, let's ram right it into the... Maybe VR turned out to be too disorienting. That is a problem that I've heard a good number of people have with virtual reality setups nowadays, is disorientation. Those might be banned in this universe, if they exist at all. But yeah, you know what? At this point, screw it. Just ram the express directly into the station. Whatever happens, happens. People getting addicted to it and then being unable to exist outside of it. There was actually a chapter about that in Clinic of Horrors. Do you see how that could potentially become life-destroying? Yeah, everyone thinks about the now, not how a whole lot of people consider the future. And even then, I feel like that should be used sparingly.
Yes, it's still on repeat. Ah, there we go.
The Jade Gate now opening. On behalf of the Xianzhou Luofu, welcome, guests from afar. Please proceed to dock in accordance with the guidance.
Huh? Is this still automated?
The signal broke off. Seems that's all there is.
We should get going. Himiko, stay vigilant back here on the Express.
Relax. I've got Don Hum here with me. Make sure you're properly prepared before you set off.
Before we set off, I need to clarify the aim of this
Yes, it
journey.
is. The name is either Chinese or Mongolian, I think. Somewhere from East Asia.
The Stellaron hunters have given us a lot to consider, and a lot to doubt. But the most important part of this expedition is precisely.
Well, Earth existed at one point in this world, but was presumably destroyed. Because I'm pretty sure this is in the same universe as Honkai Impact 3rd. In which case, it was pretty evident that Earth wasn't going to last much longer in that world.
The Stellaron hunters clearly have ulterior motives. How However, knowing what they're all about, and given the focus of Kafka's words, I have no doubt that the Xianzhou is dealing with a stellar.
So, basically what happened is these creatures known as Honkai appeared whenever Earth's civilization got so advanced to basically just beat humanity back into the ground. And while they did have what were called Valkyries to keep them at bay temporarily, it was evident at the time that it was not a permanent solution and that humanity needed to leave Earth if it was to continue. So I'd imagine at this point in the timeline, Earth has been completely abandoned. But I'd imagine the concept of East Asia still exists in historical text.
The Alliance and the Express haven't had any previous dealings, so our arrival might not receive the warmest welcome. But as trailblazers, we're not in this for fame or gain. We just need to do everything in our power.
I find that unlikely because there are people with European or with names that originate from Western Europe, and presumably will also later down the line find people with names originating from other continents. I find it unlikely that only East Asians would have gone off. I mean, I guess eugenics is a thing that exists, unfortunately, but I kind of doubt that would play a role, given both how BS eugenics is and also the severity of the situation. Wouldn't be entirely shocked if some of them did. But I doubt we're going to get answers on that, given how far in this game's past it would have been.
Always keep that in mind. And don't forget the way of the Trailblaze. Explore, understand, establish, and connect.
Yeah!
Let's go.
Oh, look. It's just containers as far as the eye can see.
Is this thing literally just a giant shipping yard?
This area isn't for receiving guests, it's for unloading cargo. Who decided to send us this way?
Maybe it's multi-purpose?
Such a huge port and not a soul in sight. It gives me the creeps. Stop talking. If there is someone here, they're in my bad books already. Mr. Yang, what should we do?
We should start with the person who opened the Jade Gate. If it turns out they're not friendly, then at least they've already made things easier for us. If it turns out they were just doing their job, then we can ask them what happened here.
Are you forgetting we've got Mr. Yang with us? Oh, right. You haven't seen what he can do yet.
Let's move. Keep your wits about you.
I mean, you know what they say, there's always a bigger fish.
Mr. Yang, someone's hurt.
You're hurt, son. Try not to talk. March, use your 6-phased ice to stop the bleeding. Go easy. We don't want to add frostbite to his list of complaints.
I'm on it.
This area saw fierce fighting only recently. Let's keep searching. There might be other survivors.
Okay, so that's where we get our technique points in here. That's our treasures. Okay. So it would certainly appear that we arrived at a bad time.
There are wounded everywhere.
The silver lining is that, based on what we can see, no civilians were caught up in the battle. I'm guessing the Xianzhou must have evacuated the port immediately, leaving the soldiers to deal with the crisis. But as for these corroded monsters...
I mean, who else is going to deal with the crisis?
Careful. We've never seen this kind of life form before.
Let's go. Leave it to me. Yo. Let's make it quick. Let's go. Rules are made to be broken.
What?
Let's make it quick.
Let's begin.
My turn.
Let's go.
Okay, so apparently those ones get 2 lives.
Reach the end of the...
Miss Tingyun, fall back! Their Mara struck. We...
Hey, you there? We need your help.
That was evident already.
Thanks for saving Beauty from the bees. Pleasure. But are you thanking us or giving yourself a compliment?
Rules are made to be broken.
Huh?
Leave it to me.
I hat happens to his spear? Oh, do you mean what happened to his spear? This is a different person
Mara struck
entirely.
had been repelled, but there could be other dangers nearby. The situation is serious.
Or were you
Allow us
referring to
escort
the
you
enemy?
back to the Sky
Because in
Fair
that case, they probably dropped it when they resurrected.
Calm down, I heard you. It'd be rude of me to depart without thanking our benefactors.
Oh, he's able to switch between physical and fire. I switched him back to physical for the moment, because a lot more things back in Eurolith 6 were weak to physical. And I didn't know what Luofu was gonna have.
Illustrious names? Sure. I'm March 7th. This is Mr. Yang. Oh, Mr. Welt Yang. And this is...
I see.
Probably could...
Well, thank you
If I had to
for
guess,
coming
I'd say
to
it's
our aid.
probably supposed to be a
Although,
Kitsune.
there's one thing I don't understand. Starskiff Haven is under lockdown. Since none of you are Xianzhou residents, may I ask how you came to be here? If you can't offer an explanation, I'm afraid these Cloud Knights will have to escort you out.
We called for port transfer and got no response, but then someone opened the Jade Gate for us. When we arrived, there was no one to be found, so we started to make our own way through.
How can that be? My ship was the last one into port before the Jade Gate was shut. The Skyfaring Commission has already locked down Starskiff Haven entirely.
So that's another question
We're
to the
telling
list.
the truth. You could verify it yourself by checking the access history of the Jade Gate. We found it strange ourselves when the gate opened, but no one came to greet us.
You're with the Astral Express.
You've heard of us?
Indeed I have. arrived at a bad time. The Xianzhou has suffered an incident. Whether you're here for leisure, treatment, or trade, I'm afraid you won't be able to go through with it. For your safety, you should hurry to Central Starskiff Haven and take refuge. I'll take you to Madame Yukong of the Skyfaring Commission and let her decide how to proceed.
We caught wind of the incident you mentioned. That's why we're here, Miss Tingyun. To help the Xianzhou seal the Stellaron.
Your actions have already revealed your kind hearts to me. Sadly, I can't make you any promises. You're outsiders, and only Madame Yukong has the authority to consider your offer. Oh, don't worry. Madame Yukong is kind-hearted too. Come on now, I'll lead the way.
Those monsters back there.
They were no monsters.
Oh, those were not to be confused with monsters, benefactors. We call them Mara-struck.
So anyway, I mentioned that I can switch my thing. Literally, I got an option here called switch once I unlocked it. Switch over to preservation, and then switch to a compatible light cone. And there we go, Spear's back. Let's top up over here. Let's investigate this. Well, I called it a compatible light cone because light cones are only able to use their abilities with compatible paths. And because the path switched from preservation to, well, from destruction to preservation, the things that are compatible switched. Different paths are preservation, destruction, the hunt, erudition, harmony, nihility, and abundance. So for instance, this one right here, you can see it's compatible with preservation. The one I was using earlier is compatible with destruction. Those are just some examples. You still get the stats regardless of which path you're on, but you don't get the ability if you're not on the correct... if the character isn't on the correct path. I wonder if there's anything up here. There is. Basically, think of it as class-specific weaponry.
Will of preservation.
Freeze!
It's time.
You know nothing of survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice. Leave it to me.
You can't run!
I'm on guard.
Tough luck running into me! Phew! Try that again!
Lands at the ready.
Then we're on to wave 2.
You can't run! Try that again!
And victory.
You couldn't have done it without me. we stopped.
Don't worry, miss. I have a favor to ask. That's all.
Favor? Count me out. What if we do it wrong and you get your cloud cronies to throw us in jail?
I shouldn't have doubted you. Please accept my apologies. Our road ahead is barricaded. Do you see? The soldiers stationed here must have moved these into a roadblock. I'd like to see us try. They're extremely heavy. Even with all of us, we wouldn't be able to move one. Not that I'm doubting your skill, but I'd feel terrible if you hurt yourself in the process. If I'm not mistaken, the containers in the Trove of Verdure can be moved around using a control panel. You've already put on quite the show. Do you think you'll be able to find and operate the control panel? Should be simple, right?
Do you not know where it is yourself?
I knew it. This will be a breeze for you. We just need to pass through here, take the barge to Starskiff Haven, and we'll be safe.
You know, you sound sweet enough, but you were talking about getting us escorted away by your Cloud Knights. If it weren't for Mr. Yang...
She could still be bothered to tell us where it is, though.
If you were in my shoes right now, wouldn't you want to keep your guard up?
Ah, true. But we came here to trailblaze, not jailblaze.
Right now that the dialogue is finished, we can fight it.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Hmm? Okay. Wait, where am I? Oh. It's one of these puzzles. Okay, it looks like they made this one simple, but if this ends up being a trend later, then these could get very tedious very fast.
You mentioned the Stellaron.
You work for the Skyfaring Commission, so I assume you're aware of its destructive power.
Yes, I am. As an Amicassator, I've been to many planets and seen my fair share of Stellaron corrosion.
It's time.
Tough luck running into me! Here! Try that again! My turn! Phew!
Naughty child. Nap time.
You can't run!
Let's begin.
Try that again! Told you I could fight!
Time for a shot.
The galaxy is vast beyond compare.
I'm on guard.
Nothing up. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
It's time. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Awesome move.
Lands at the ready.
Tough luck running into me.
Naughty child. Nap time.
You can't run. Told you I could fight. Cute.
So basically, your character gets selected by Kafka to
My turn.
who be infused with the Celeron for reasons that are not yet known to
Naughty
us.
child. Nap time.
And you get found by March and Don Hong of the Astral Express, who take you in as one of their members, and then the rest of the game's events ensue. That is a very brief description of it, but, well, I don't think there's a way to view past cutscenes in this game as much as that feature would be appreciated.
Looks good.
First, let's see what's over this way. Let's get these dealt with.
Time for some heart.
Time.
You can't run.
Reach the end of the story in your own way. It's time.
Nothing up. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Let's begin. Stand down.
So that's
The
one
galaxy is
thing. Let's get the other.
It's time.
Leave it to go.
Naughty child. Nap time.
Try that again.
Let's begin.
Time for a shot.
You can't run. Try that again.
Leave it to me.
Alright, that one's out of the way.
The galaxy is vast beyond compare.
So, looks like we're basically guiding an Amazon delivery drone. Okay. And I guess while we're here, we'll figure out what this is. What just happened? Okay. Oh, it's basically a Rubik's Cube.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward! Lance.
Let's begin.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
Oh, I don't want to get rid of that. It's got crit rate. This one, on the other hand, I'm fine. I'm fine with salvaging. Relics. Alright, where'd it go?
Get ready, and watch your backs.
Leave it to me. Freeze.
Stay calm.
Gotta try hard sometimes. Watch this awesome move.
You know nothing of the weight behind this power. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Tough luck.
Nap time.
Leave it to me.
It's time.
You can't run.
Let's begin.
Phew.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
That's better.
Nice teamwork.
Try that again. You can't run.
Yeah, well, it's pretty powerful.
You know nothing of survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
He is also the, well, currently the only character of the imaginary element.
Here.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
It's time.
Which, it's just possible that this element... It's possible that this element is just inherently broken, and he's not actually that powerful aside from it, but we'll have to see when other characters come out.
You can't run.
Yes, I also thought it was funny.
Finally! Look how many tail hairs I lost on the way.
So,
Tail.
yeah, there's multiple elements in this game as well as multiple paths. But what the girl power ability does is whenever, well, up to 2 times, she's able to retaliate whenever an ally with a shield gets attacked. That imaginary element has its own specific effects that could apply when inflicting weakness break.
We had a difficult start.
For
but
instance,
things got easier.
in this case, imagine
Look, that's the
imaginary
charge I was
inflicts what's
talking
called
about.
imprisonment, which is basically a stun effect. I think it's both stun and also slow. Yeah, I get the feeling that Tingyun is very self-absorbed with appearances.
Don't fret. All
Yep.
ambassadors know their way around a star skiff.
Pretty blatantly visible. And here you were earlier criticizing me for not seeing the makeup on Dan Heng.
I was perfectly calm until she volunteered to help.
It is activating a weakness, essentially.
Please take your seats, everyone. We'll be off right away.
It's kind of like the stagger mechanic from Final Fantasy XIII. It's like, for instance, you can see elements here. There's fire, physical, ice, lightning, wind, quantum, and imaginary. Fair enough. But also, like, the tail does take up a very large percentage of her model. It's like, these are the effects of the different weakness breaks. Fire will cause it to deal fire damage and apply the burn effect, dealing fire damage over time. Physical deals physical damage and applies bleed, which is another DOT. Ice freezes the target. Lightning, it applies shock, dealing lightning damage over time. Most of these appear to be damage over time. Yep, wind, DOT. Quantum and imaginary are where they get interesting. Quantum will deal quantum damage and cause entanglement, delaying the enemy's action and dealing additional quantum damage to the affected enemy at the start of the next turn. When the enemy is hit, this extra damage will increase. And imaginary, when using an imaginary attack to inflict weakness break on target enemy, the attack will deal imaginary damage and additionally inflicts imprisonment. Imprisoned enemies suffer from delayed actions and speed reduction. Now, this kind of looks like the Wave Rider from Genshin. I wonder if they just tweaked the same model. Not currently, but I wouldn't be entirely surprised if that got added later.
On behalf of the Skyfaring Commission, allow me to welcome you to Starskiff Haven. On the Xianzhou Luofu, anything relating to aviation, navigation, and trade falls within the scope of the Skyfaring Commission, which is one of the 6 commissions of the Luofu. As the biggest port on the ship, Starskiff Haven is
The
governed by
closest
the
thing would be
Skyfaring
the
Commission,
Eons. But I'm not sure if they meet the criteria to be considered capital G gods.
You definitely sound like a... what was it again? Oh, Amy Cassider. By which I mean, nice speech.
That's too kind of you. My job involves ferrying business delegates to and from Starskiff Haven, so I do this kind of introduction all the time.
Ancient creator species.
Anyway,
Okay.
we're safe now. Normally, I'd be a good host and take you around, but these are difficult times. Let's head to the Palace of Astrum first and report your arrival to Madame Yukong.
So this page right here will give you information on the different eons and how they work. Well, it's more of like a disambiguation page, so it mentions the eons and their related factions, and then each eon's name has a hyperlink that you can use to look at the specifics of that given eon.
Palace of Astrum?
Right there, the tallest building in the city. It's also the headquarters of the Skyfaring Commission. Let's hurry. We haven't got much time. I don't mean to rush you, but if Madame Yukong holds me accountable for not getting you over soon enough, I wouldn't want to be around for the consequences.
Okay.
Sounds scary. I thought you said she was kind-hearted.
We need to make a few preparations before paying a visit to any of the 6 commissions. Rest assured, Miss Tingyun, we won't go anywhere. If you can inform Madame Yukong of our arrival first, we'll meet you at the palace entrance later.
That may have been poorly translated, and possibly they meant God of Oblivion. I think it's nihility as in, like, nihilism.
Very well.
Little Miss Fox moves at quite the pace. I can't keep up with her. I've spent too long on the bench. Let's catch our breath for a while, huh? We can expect a packed schedule ahead.
Well, as we've seen, he very much has powers.
That might be a little harsh, but she does put her own interests first. She did the right thing by not trusting us initially. We were an unknown quantity to her. As for the
Yeah,
rest,
I have the same impression of him.
she's just eager to get us out of her hair and further up the chain. It'll be all right. We're not trying to stand in her way. We have nothing to hide from her.
I'm suspecting that when they said God of Nothing, what they meant was God of Oblivion. Or maybe God of Non-Existence. Sometimes things can be translated awkwardly. You gotta remember, this is being translated from Chinese to English. Which is a pretty tall language barrier. Probably. Yeah, I'm not far enough in the game to have definite answers on really anything just yet. That's why I linked you to the wiki.
We didn't have anything to hide in Belobog either.
Not so fast. I need to give you 2 a heads up first. Our meeting with Madame Yukong won't be without risk. We need to be prepared and take it seriously.
She is a top Xianzhou leader. Oh, Mr. Yang, do you think this could be Belobog all over again?
No, the Xianzhou Alliance is better than that. But Madame Yukong will definitely have a string of difficult questions for us. Why did we choose to come to the Xianzhou now? How did we know that the incident is related to a Stellaron? Who leaked their information to us?
Possibly.
Careless answers mean distrust and potential hostility, which would make things much harder for us.
I know, just glancing the wiki, I saw that Ouroboros was in there. So that could be interesting.
Huh, crud. One of us is gonna blurt something out, or get something wrong, I just know it.
Yeah, I agree. And also, March, you seem the most likely to do the thing that you're worried about.
But we haven't done anything wrong.
March is right. If we're too scripted, it'll sound like we're hiding something.
I mean, yeah, Ouroboros is the snake that eats its own tail.
Don't worry.
I'm trying.
We'll find a way through.
Oh, right, I have the internet right here.
Let me do the talking.
So Ouroboros is originally from ancient Egypt. Yes. But first he would have to get de-linked from his tail. Yeah, you're thinking of Jormungandr. I think Jormungandr just has constricted the world and also sucked the life out of the world tree. But I could be wrong about that. I could not say. If I remember correctly, Jormungandr and Fenrir are both children of Loki. So, think of that what you will. So this is what their vending machines look like. Oh, that seems like a nice effect. Also seems like a nice effect. Yeah, I remember hearing that he also impregnated a rock at some point, which, like, how do you even do that? I guess. I mean, he's a god. I guess normal rules don't apply to him.
Looks good.
Okay.
Oh, you're here already. Sorry to keep you waiting. Madame Yukong is expecting you.
Are you not coming?
I've brought the Madame Helmmaster up to speed. It's over to you now.
Okay.
Yes, Madam.
Report the losses to General Jing Yuan and find someone from the Divination Commission. I can't just stand there watching while we deal with this mess. Greetings, guests from the Astral Express.
Greetings to you as well.
Ting Yun has informed me of the purpose of your visit. I see receiving guests isn't normally one of my responsibilities, but since you know about the Stellaron and have stated that you want to help the Luofu, I thought I should at least meet you in person and politely decline your proposal.
God damn it.
The Xianzhou Alliance knows what a Stellaron is, and is more than capable of handling it ourselves. We have been around for over 8,000 years, and weathered countless dangers and crises. While the situation is serious, we have more than enough resources to spare. Outsider help is not needed on this occasion. You are guests from afar. There is no reason for this matter to concern you. Am I making myself clear?
From what we've gathered, the influence of the Stellaron can still be contained. If we can locate it in time and contain it, it's possible that we can restore any space and any individuals affected by the corrosion. We have experience in preventing Stellaron disasters, and we've only come here to lend you that experience.
I've said this and I'll say it again. This is an internal affair of the Xianzhou Alliance, and there is no need for the Astral Express to get involved. I decided to arrange a meeting with you as a gesture of respect, but my decision is final.
But...
Never mind, Mr. Yang. If the Xianzhou Alliance say they can handle it, then we're wasting our breath. Let's go.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
Huh? And what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend being rude here, March.
It's only been a few days since the presence of a Stellaron was detected on the Luofu. Starskiff Haven has been under full lockdown. No one has been permitted to leave. How did you come to know of the incident? And what led you to conclude that it was linked to a Stellaron? I acquired the access history of Starskiff Haven. Not long ago, someone hacked into the system and opened the Jade Gate, before guiding you, the Astral Express, into our territory. The hacker was skillful and even taunted us with her seal. Her name is Silverwolf, a member of the Stellaron Hunters. What say you in your defense?
I feel like neither of these are good answers, so I'm just gonna stay silent.
You are forbidden from leaving the Skyfaring Commission until the aforementioned questions have been investigated.
Don't be too harsh, Yukon. If this gets out, the whole galaxy will think the Alliance has forgotten how to treat our guests.
General Jingyuan.
It's very unlikely that the Express has joined forces with the Stellaron Hunters. They are mortal enemies, after all. Apologies for interrupting your meeting. My name is Jingyuan. I'm the General of the Cloud Knights here on the Luofu.
General, this is an internal affair for the Luofu.
I fully agree with you, Helm Master Yukon. This is indeed an internal affair. I am sorry, guests of the Astral Express. It is true that there is a Stellaron on the Luofu, but I'm afraid I cannot accept your kind offer to help resolve the issue. This is a Xianzhou matter, and it is our responsibility to handle it. Of course, it would be inappropriate of me to let you return without something to show for it. While I cannot accept your help with regard to the Stellaron, I do have a favor to ask. Please, after you. The Astral Express. I must confess that the train's reputation precedes it, such that it is often close to my thoughts. How delightful to come face to face with its passengers.
It's an honor to meet you, General. May I ask what the favor you spoke of is?
A matter that requires capable people such as yourselves. We captured a member of the Stellaron Hunters a few days ago. who goes by the name of Blade. During our investigation, the Divination Commission, the department in charge of intelligence processing, intercepted a transmission sent out by his accomplice, Kafka, who has managed to hide aboard the ship. As for where that transmission was
I guess.
I have some knowledge of your relationship with the Stellaron Hunters. The Divination Commission is convinced that you made an alliance with them. I say that's impossible. The crew of the Astral Express are honorable people whose valiant deeds are lauded across the universe. There must have been a misunderstanding. As such, I came to the conclusion that the communication must have been an attempt by the Stellaron Hunters to sow dissent between us. We can handle the Stellaron, but it will take time and will require the bulk of the Cloud Knights on the ship. It is this Kafka that concerns me. The longer she stays on the ship, the bigger the threat she will pose. Since the Stellaron Hunters lured you to our ship, we shall move with the current. You are hereby authorized to do as you deem fit on the Luofu, with the goal of bringing Kafka out of the shadows and under our control.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kafka was seeing this transmission.
Doing so would clear the misunderstanding between us, reveal the true intentions of the Stellaron Hunters, and help us understand their connection to the Stellaron Burst. What say you, my astral guest?
What do you think?
If you are able to capture this Stellaron Hunter, the Xianzhou will be indebted to you.
I mean, our protagonist here is canonically like a trash pillaging kleptomaniac.
The Luofu never fails to reward that which is given.
Okay.
Wonderful. It's a deal then. I shall notify Yukong that all intel is to be shared with you, and that our best personnel are to aid you in your search. If there is anything the Skyfaring Commission or the Cloud Knights can do for you during your stay, don't hesitate to make it known.
I think we only scratched the surface of this General Jing Yuan. I don't know about strange, but my gut tells me something is off. That's it. A minor detail, but curious. He avoided talking about Blade. Since the Cloud Knights have already captured a Stellaron Hunter, why not use him to get to Kafka? Why rely on us? The Xianzhou is reluctant to involve outsiders in the Stellaron disaster, so why is it so keen on letting us capture a Stellaron Hunter?
It's not something we really have answers to just yet.
Yes. The only sensible conclusion I can draw is that Blade had already escaped when Jing Yuan spoke to us, provided they even captured him in the first place. Therefore, given our connection to Kafka, we represent the only way of luring the Stellaron Hunters in. That's why he asked for our help. He didn't want to let anyone else find out that Blade had already escaped. Now that we've figured that out, perhaps we can get closer to the core of what's happening here.
What do you make of this, Jing Yuan? Oh, come on. You think everyone's suspicious. He's much easier to talk to than that Yukong. Their attitudes are so different. Maybe that's why she's only a Helm Master and he's a general.
How do we know that Helm Master doesn't rate above general? We don't know the culture of this place just yet. Well, you might, but I don't.
Master Diviner, you heard our discussion. What do you make of it?
What do I make of it? The way of heaven is apparent, but the heart of humanity is often deceptive. Are you asking me to divine their true intentions?
That won't be necessary. The crew has nothing to do with the incident. Of that, I am almost certain. It isn't their intentions that trouble me. All I want is for them to lure out the one we're after.
Wasn't that my idea, General?
Indeed. Your counsel has always been a great help to me. You may use your discretion on the matters ahead of us.
Why don't you retire early and I use my discretion full time?
It is still too soon, unfortunately. If something goes wrong, you'll need a general to take the blame. How could I simply walk away and put you at such risk?
If you'd brought me that blade earlier, none of this would have been necessary.
I'd imagine that the crew of the Express doesn't know about this, but they're showing us this for, like, dramatic effect. I forget exactly what the trope is called, but this is a thing that you see quite often in stories where the reader is given information that the characters don't have.
Wait, what are you up to exactly? Xingyuan, did you let him escape on purpose?
Me? I had no idea he might escape. Unlike you, my gaze never travels beyond the horizon. I take full responsibility. The Cloud Knights failed in their duty.
I can understand. There's a lot to take care of on the Xinzhou. You were bound to miss something. Thank goodness I'm here. On that note, perhaps it's about time you finally nominate me as your successor when the Six Charioteers next convene.
Yes. I have to go now. I'll leave this in your overwhelmingly capable hands, Fu Shen. There are three things in the world that I can't seem to rid myself of. The troubles of the Xianzhou, the papers on my desk, and the weeds in my garden.
General, Diviner Fu wants the General's position for herself. Everyone knows that.
She is very capable, but her intellect is burdened by a quick temper. I'll retire when she's achieved a better balance.
Yeah.
This Stellaron thing
He
is
probably has
easy.
the money for
Blade
it.
escaped. Now we gotta go get him. Just say the word, and I'll solve this in a flash.
I can understand your impatience, and I know you want to prove yourself. Now is not the time. If you truly wish to become sword champion, you shouldn't be running around brandishing your sword at people, especially not a major criminal.
You think I'd lose to Blade?
I'm saying you need to have patience, Yanqing. Governing Xianzhou is different from a sword fight. The only way to build momentum is to work slowly. Besides, we still don't know who's really moving the chess pieces. There is something we must take care of before making our next
This is
move.
the first time we're seeing him in the
As long
story,
as it remains
so...
unresolved, we're at a stalemate.
Who's to say?
That something is the Stellar.
Well, actually, they do look rather androgynous, so I'm not sure if they're a male or
How did
female.
they manage to bypass the Skyfaring Commission's inspections and the Divination Commission's predictions? Where is it now?
I say we bring those two Stellaron hunters before Diviner Fu. She'll get an answer out of them in no time.
I've asked our friends from the Express to take care of
Same
that for
here.
us. Worry not. You'll have your moment when the current stalemate is broken. You are my most trusted aide. And there are some things that I would only assign to you. Speaking of which, Yanqing. That boy.
Okay, so it is.
I suppose
So
it
Yanqing is
my
male.
fault. I should have given him an opportunity already. A sharp sword can't stay sheathed forever. My fear was that this might prove too big a setback. Bigger than his exuberance.
Alright, another thing from Tingyun. I mean, I do have him. Not exactly well leveled, but I have him. He needs to be stronger first. And of course, this is in an area that I probably don't have access to yet. Oh, I could probably... I could go fight that right now. Maybe. What? Is that what they want? Oh! Okay, I understand it now.
Looks good. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what mixed Skeeter would be. This looks like the best team setup that I have here.
Victory means preparation.
Lance ablaze. Lance!
Maybe.
Forward!
The truth of life and death.
The sanctuary is but a vision.
Great. Who's next? I'll free you. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Too late to repent.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Thanks.
Lance at the...
Naughty child.
Don't mess with me.
I could not say.
Fighting
I
is
did not do the
dangerous.
modeling or animations for this game. Probably not.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
I'd imagine they're probably just trying to appeal to the target audience.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
The truth of life
The
is
sanctuary is but a vision. It's time.
Don't worry about me.
Maybe.
I'm on guard.
I've no interest in.
I'll free you. Disappear among the sea of butterflies. Illusions of the past.
Naughty child.
Lance at the...
Fighting is.
Don't mess with me.
And we got it.
A sharp scythe needs targets.
And then he doesn't have a light gun equipped right now. He's of the hunt. Yeah. Oh, I actually like that ability. I mean, it's referring to what the Astral Express travels along, so I guess you're not far off. Ability card? I'm not sure, actually. I think it was Akivili, but that's just based on the information we have currently. They could end up giving us information later that contradicts that. Yeah, I guess it could have been anyone, based on what we currently know. But since we know that Akivili is the one who made the Express, it seems the most likely that Akivili also would have made the Star Rail. Of course it is. There's our vending machine again.
Madame Yukong has asked me to look after you. Seems like we were destined to be in each other's company. The Skyfaring Commission has reserved rooms for you at the Petraport Inn. When you finish your business here, how about some tea together?
If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe it's usually a single person who makes an entire train. But in this case, but that was the case with the Astral Express. Moreover, the Star Rail doesn't seem to entirely be a physical object. It seems to be more dependent on the integrity of space-time. Which is why when we arrived on Eurilo 6, it was stated to not be manageable due to the Stellaron. Possibly. You gotta remember, this is a sci-fi setting. They can kind of bullshit their way if they need to.
No. Though I'd appreciate it if you mentioned to Madame Yukong that you got a warm reception from me when you next see her. Better to be busy than idle, I suppose.
But yeah, they've got the realm of fiction on their side. That's the most they can really say. Since I am not exactly an expert in this. I watch probably an unhealthy amount of space and physics documentaries as a child, but that doesn't mean I have a university degree.
Here we are. I feel sleepy already. Hey, that's not fair. My eyes are peeled this time. I'll make a run for it the second things go wrong.
I think most people are. Myself included.
Jokes aside, Did you see Madame Yukong frown at us? I thought her guards were about to jump out of nowhere and throw us in jail.
Why is Tingyun hip syncing to that?
I'd rather deal with monsters than these big shots. I mean, not that Madame Yukong doesn't have her merits.
Don't worry, my lips are sealed. But as her subordinate, I have to say that it's Madame Yukong's duty to keep her guard up. The Luofu is facing a crisis, and as head of the Skyfaring Commission, she is responsible for the security of the Xianzhou's customs and borders. She's actually a very reasonable old girl in private. They say that many years ago, Madame Yukong was an ace pilot in the Cloud Knights. She was a work hard, play harder type, known for her hot temper and incredible skill. Eventually, she became the head of the entire commission, which required her to learn patience and adopt a meticulous approach to her work. In any case, Madame Yukong instructed me to reserve the best rooms at the inn and have all your expenses covered. She wants to extend the full courtesy of the Xianzhou so that all of you enjoy your stay to the fullest. She specifically mentioned that if you wish to buy anything at the inn, be it food or otherwise, just let the innkeeper know. The commission will cover the cost.
Why don't you go back yourself?
Because she's busy.
Seeing as our hosts are so thoughtful, I guess we should help ourselves. Right, Mr. Yang?
We should focus on our objective first. Seeing as Helmmaster Yukong was extremely reluctant to get us involved, am I right to speculate that the Skyfaring Commission has some leads on the whereabouts of Kafka?
Exactly right. The suspect is extremely cunning. She encrypted her transmission and timed her communication. We couldn't pinpoint her exact location. But as cunning as she is, the Divination Commission has managed to find something.
Here are the coordinates. It's up to you how to proceed. Our destinations may differ, but the orbits of the stars will eventually converge. See you later.
Sounded like machinery, didn't it?
Precisely. That's the sound of a device.
Which means what exactly? This is a starship. There are all kinds of devices making weird noises.
Miss March, to the untrained ear, these noises may sound the same, but for the craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission, every machine has a different pitch and melody. The General sent for craftsmen, and they concluded that the sound came from the shipyard facilities in Stargazer Navalia. Now, get some rest and prepare yourselves for the operation ahead. I look forward to seeing you in action.
Looks good.
Let's take advantage of the rest. It won't be easy to track down Kafka the Stellaron Hunter.
Oh, let's let the Express know how we're doing. More importantly, let's see how Dan Heng's doing. Ask him what he's up to. Then tell him we're having loads of fun.
You've been standing here for half an hour. It's rare to see you like this. Are you worried about those two? Welt is with them. They should be fine.
Himiko, did you keep a copy of the Stellaron Hunter's transmission? Can I have a look?
Sure.
Not to mention, 45 system hours ago, a Stellaron burst occurred on the Luofu. An unexpected calamity, don't you think?
What exactly are you Stellaron hunters trying to do? The Xianzhou Alliance aren't us. They won't give you time to explain. Once you draw the attention of the hunt, you become their prey. The Alliance will hunt you to the end of the universe.
Stop speaking in riddles, Kafka. Say what you have to say. It's simple. That Stellaron has nothing to do with us, but the Xianzhou is convinced that we're responsible.
Stop!
Do you know him?
The Xianzhou is in danger. This man, he... If he's on the ship, then Welt, March, and him. Everyone is in grave danger. What?
Is he connected to that past you want to escape?
I can't leave them down there. It's just... I'm afraid my burden has finally caught up with me. And that everyone is about to be drawn in.
Is there anyone who doesn't carry around a past burden? She may not remember it, but even a girl as carefree as March has hers. We tread on a path that is hidden from us. The things we see and the trails we blaze all become our baggage. They weigh us down, but they also give us strength to continue the journey. Try not to dwell on it, Dan Heng. The Express spends 7 standard days at each stop. Its passengers are allowed to do as they deem fit during that time. Pom-Pom and I are more than capable of looking after the Express. If there's something you've got to do, do it now. Better than regretting it further down the line.
I think they're earrings.
And you'll come back and travel with us once this is all over, right?
You want to disembark, Dan Heng? Changed your mind? Well then, Pom-Pom wishes you the best of luck. Make sure you return before the Express departs. And bring Pom-Pom back some local specialties?
Pom-Pom is kind of like the mascot character.
The network is down.
Technically, Pom-Pom is the conductor of the Express, but only really in name. At least to my understanding, that's the case.
Virtually nothing has changed since I left. Apart from darkness, this place is all that I remember of the Luofu. Too late to repent. Virtually nothing has changed since I left. Apart from darkness, this place is all that I remember of the Luofu.
You already said that.
Stay where you are. I can handle this. Emergencies should be dealt with by professionals.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Take this! Rise, Phoenix!
Chicken.
Fighting is meaningless.
Let me through.
You're hurt.
It's okay.
Yes, it was a chicken.
Wrong, all right? You're not going anywhere.
Secret of the safe.
Take this. Shape, rise, Venus. Dodge this.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
No more playing nice.
Fighting.
With you two risking your lives for me, could I really stay where I am?
Move carefully.
Okay, so it looks like his ultimate is locked for story purposes. Oh, okay, they're trying to say they don't have control over him. Oh, he's another imaginary.
The truth of life and death. The sanctuary is but a vision. Break!
Take this. Rise, Venus.
Looks like it just does single target imaginary damage.
Are you two okay? Good. I'm Sushang of the Cloud Knights. I was just transferred here from the Yaoqing. I did tell you to let me handle it. I don't have eyes in the back of my head. What if I accidentally hit you?
Forgive me, miss, but you were too busy being hit yourself. It's a good thing I joined the fray.
I was protecting you more like. It's a Cloud Knight's job to protect others. And this area is under martial law. I'm escorting all civilians to safety. Follow me. That was some impressive Cloud Knight spearmanship. Which unit are you from? Huh. Okay, you're a civilian then. Come with me.
Miss Sushang, what exactly has transpired here? In all my trade visits, I've never seen Starskiff Haven in such a state.
He has to say. I guess I'll have to see more of the character before we can determine that.
I can't comment on that. I was just ordered to rescue the civilians. Actually, I have no idea either. Anyway, you two just need to come with me.
Seemed more like he saw which way the fight was going and decided to step in.
You're pretty quiet. What's your name? I've got forms to fill out. Can't put your name down as blank.
My name is Dan Hung. I'm a traveler. I'm on my way to meet up with my friends. I appreciate the help, but I can leave the port on my own.
No can do, mister. It's way too late. You won't find anyone at Starskiff Haven. If your friends made it out, then they'll already be in the safe zone. No need to worry. You'll see them when we get there.
Aren't you going to take my name too, miss?
You already said it when we were busy fighting. something. Locha! Is that right? I remember it. Let's go. Stay close, you two. Cloud Knight Sushang will guarantee your safety. Oh, one more thing. I need you to write your names down later. I don't know too many characters. I might make a mistake.
Yeah, Chinese does have an absurd amount of characters, doesn't it?
Message not sent? Why not?
Long-range communication technology is still improving. Perhaps the presence of the Stellaron is affecting signal transmission.
We didn't have that issue back on Eurylio 6, though.
Doesn't seem like it. Everything else is working fine. See?
In that case, it looks like someone wants to make things difficult for us. Since Kafka's here, I wouldn't be surprised if this turns out to be that Stellaron hunter hacker girl's handiwork.
I'm just glancing out my window every now and then to make sure nothing's going after the chickens. Yes. They are free range, meaning they're allowed to just go wherever they like, so long as they return to the coop at night. Which they do.
Nice.
Speaking of, we've actually had this one hawk that's been getting increasingly aggressive in the area, so I've been having to go out more often to check on them. Speaking of, I think it's probably best that I end the stream here. But yeah, I'll try to stream this more consistently.